Today is July 27th, 2022, and my sunflower is blooming and getting pollinated by bees. Very cute. See? And then here's a bunch of other stuff. Just like a bunch of other stuff. So today is July 27th, 2022, and we have what they call echinacea, a cone flower. This one is used medicinally, although personally I don't really mess with that. I don't want to dig up the roots. And then this one is blooming today. It's known as garden phlox. Pretty nice. Today is July 27th, 2022. And this, I think, is some type of petunia. That's what Google Lens says, but I can't 100% confirm that. But it is a pretty nice flower. My brother must have planted it, because it's kind of just like chilling in the garden. So over here we have some lilies, some rose and bergamot. But really, I'm trying to get close to this. I mean, look at that. That's pretty incredible. Today's July 27th. So yeah, those are really incredible. And this is bergamot, Monarda fistulosa, and you can actually make tea out of it. So that's pretty cool. So this one's called Pearly Everlasting. I cannot pronounce its proper Latin name. It's too complicated for me. But Pearly Everlasting is what it's known as, and it's pretty cool. Today's July 27th, 2022. Bruh. I just want some peace and quiet, man. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't think it's that much to ask for. So, I'm here on the North Ridge. I'm about maybe one full third the way up. It's a really big hill. I may be even a little bit further than one third. Maybe 2/5, 2.5 fifths maybe, something like that. And I'm just feeling like if I had a ton of help, like just a ton of help, of people to help me chase ideas, of people to help pool around my creativity and give it the time of day, I think I could do wildly successful things. And I think this is true for a lot of people out there that are not currently in positions of power. And rising to those positions usually starts as a momentum. You know, you're either born into a whirlpool, and that carries you into your own whirlpool, or you stay in the big whirlpool, and you have momentum, or you're just caught in the turbulence. You know, the idea of at least the capitalist system, it seems to be that, you know, you're forced to stabilize yourself, so be it. But I'm trying to do it more like spiritually. This is called burdock. Sorry, this is, I'm way too high. This is called bull thistle. I'll flip the camera around. So if it'll focus. Yeah, this is called bull thistle. Today is the 27th day of July, 2022. And yeah, this is bull thistle. It's a hell of a plant, you know, you wouldn't want to bike through one of these, let alone a field of them. I mean, just look at that. You don't want that coming in your eye or anywhere on your skin, really. But especially. So yeah, I'm gonna get a better picture of it. I'll give you a little bit of the lay of the land. And then I gotta take a couple pictures of it for my field guide. And that'll be it. That'll be the day. You know? I try to keep it simple. There's a shot that I need to get money. This is it. And after we get the shot for money, we leave. Then we have the rest of the day to do stuff. Seems good, right? If I do that once a day, it's pretty good. Gotta learn how to do that. I'll have to come back tomorrow which was kind of the plan anyways, but I'll have to come back tomorrow because I think they'll be blooming a little more, but also because if you notice, the shade actually just covered this part up. Like, the sun just kind of dropped, and, the shadow of the branches now hitting it, so, yeah, I mean, that's it for the night. It's not gonna, I could sit around here waiting for the sun to come back, but I'd have to be waiting until the daytime. And, well, so, I don't really know, like, what the next step is for myself. I just know that I want to create something that is sustainable. I watch what my father does as his coping strategy, and it's the exact same coping strategy I do, which is talk a lot, really motivating things. Yeah, cliches, yeah. Yeah, cliches and sometimes a metaphor. Oh, cliches. If you work hard, everything will be okay. But, like, the truth is that, like, that kind of stuff doesn't really, like, work. And in the limited circumstances that it does, like, this dude is giving me, like, only goober advice. Like, I'm not sure the man really exists. And, I'd like to prove, with some intention, not only that I exist, but that I am transcendental. I'm more than just this body. I'm more than the rest of the culture that forms me. I think inherently, whatever we call the human soul, the human spirit, can have that, but I think a lot of it also, they're like, I love you so much, and I'm like, yeah, thanks. Yikes. I don't know if I can say it back if I don't mean it, It's like, it's not that I don't mean it, it's that, like, I just don't always want to say it because I don't always want to feel it, and I don't always feel it. So it's like, why am I going to say it if I don't feel it? I try to not just say it casually, and it hurts when I don't say it to people because it means that, like, they know that it's me. It's my shadow. I wonder what effect I have on people as the shadow. Maybe I should have a new channel where you only ever get to see my shadow. That would be kind of funny as, like, a gimmick. So the Shinigami gave me this shirt, and I've been loving it. So I'm making this movie, right? And I have this delusional prospective, alternative life that I live out in my mind's eye wildest dreams, where it's not so much that I'm like a famous Hollywood, like, movie maker, schmoozing, yes, Hollywood, yes. It's not even that. It's that I'm just some dude who that, like, maybe people will try to get close to because I'm successful. But I'm looking to create this movie. And I want to create it in the genre of thriller horror, but psychological thriller horror. There's no boogeyman. There's no chase sequence. There's no direct antagonist. There is, but it's an ideal, or an ideology personified. And it isn't so much evil, so much as just anti-freedom power comes at the cost of freedom. And, it grapples with that intense desire for societal anarchy. I think that we're all experiencing. The reason that you ask, the younger generation what their birth sign is, you say, hey, what's your sign? You don't have to say, hey, what's your sign? People can answer that question. You ask the boomers that, they're like, okay, I'll say again. They're dead. They're done. They're already over. It's a done deal. The question now is, how do we create the story? How do we, if you don't have to play by the rules of the theater and the stage. And you can instead choose to bring that stage to life in any manner or regard or tone, set piece, genre that you want. And actually, what's really interesting about this is I truly believe I can carve my own niche. I've seen similar, but they're outdated. There's this movie, I forget the name of it, but like, it's the trippiest movie, dude. Like, seriously, like, it's goofy too, because at the ending, like, this dude's like literally dressed up in a gorilla suit and like is like supposed to be the gorilla because he got like morphed into it or something. Like, he's like back in time, and it's like from like the 80s. I can't remember the name, but there's this like a couple of scenes that they blew most of the budget on if you like read the wiki. And it was funny because I was like looking it up because the scene was just so strikingly ridiculous as when compared to the like nightmare fuel like reality that the wider movie took place in. And I thought there was really something to that. And I think I can create something along those lines that is, with purpose, one of the coolest things that can explore like DMT trips. And more than that, it explores the human psyche and condition. And it does this by it elaborates on that idea, I should say, of a trip and revelation in a non-religious manner that is, it's like an alternative religion in a way. It's a cult. It's like the furthest thing without devolving into pure animalism, right? Like, this isn't Vikings howling at the moon in that, whatever that terrible movie was. The Northman. Terrible. But, like, watchable in the same way that, like, Valhalla Rising was, like, questionably terrible, but also kind of a brilliant masterpiece in a way. Like, it's hard to explain what I mean by that. Like, the movie itself is, like, I think I'm hearing my own echo. Ooh. I swear I keep hearing voices talking just out of range. They're not saying anything I can hear, right? They're not listening to me. There it is again. Oh, it is. 100%. That's weird. E. Whoa. Can you hear it? You probably can't. E. 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 That's crazy. No wonder bats use higher frequencies. They come back easier. I wonder why sonar uses lower. Maybe because it's like, I don't know. That one didn't come back at all. E. I don't want to be out here making weird noises. People think I'm a weirdo. Well, they'll find out I'm a weirdo. So I'm making this movie, right? And it's going to explore the inner machinations of this right-wing girl's mind without actually delving into what right-wing thinking is within her mind. We never actually get a glimpse directly into her, like, diary of thoughts, if that makes sense. Like, we get a glimpse into... It's kind of like Claire from House of Cards, right? It's the same type of quiet, like, what is she actually up to type of bitch, right? But without that, like, poise that comes with aristocratic power. Like, this girl's in her young 20s, so she's growing into that quickly, and she's being groomed for that type of position. But rather than make it there, she's gonna, go buck wild and end up in, like, a neo-pagan collective brainwashing alien DMT Aum movement cult that is modeled off of Aum Shinrikyo, who launched a biological or chemicalogical, I don't know what the word is. It was chemical warfare, and they unleashed it on the subways of Tokyo, and they killed people with sarin gas. And they were trying to start World War III and blame it on the Americans, which, like, kind of a smart fucking move. They had, like, enough wherewithal to have, like, 6 men coordinated, and these were, like, doctors, not just, like, dumb, idiot terrorists. These were, like, and intelligence doesn't measure for good or evil, right? Or the capacity therefore, right? These people were at war. It was very strange, very, very strange. So it's modeled after that. But also, if you've seen this documentary called Wild Wild Country, it's a look into the sannyasins, who they were this, like, it's an expose on statecraft more than it is a look into Western philosophy or Hinduism, because Because at some point it was less about the religion, and it was more about just the power of, I don't want to call it communism, because that isn't really what I mean, but it's just like, it truly is a brainwashing cult. But it becomes, as I said, an exercise in like state power, and that's kind of where I'm going with this story. It's this compound in the woods. It's this right-wing, well, they're not right-wing. That's the thing. They groom her because they know that she is. But they're not even close to right-wing. They're not even close to left-wing. That's the thing. Like, when you're a DMT, alien, BDSM, like, World War III death cult, you're not really a left or right-wing thing. Like, it's kind of like trying to figure out, like, was Heaven Gate communist? Like, I don't know. They don't seem like it. Like, you can sit here and debate it and try to pigeonhole things. But that's why I'm trying to expand I'm trying to expand the consciousness and the exploration of that consciousness as it relates to this character named Taylor. Taylor is a 21-year-old woman who has blonde hair, blue eyes, and her father is, they don't talk about it. They don't talk about the fact that he has, like, kind of a Hitler shrine in his basement. You know, in his, like, home theater, which was like, also doubles as, like, a bunker, and he, like, also stores food, and they live on, like, land. They live on land, right? And he's a Congress dude, and he, like, works directly behind the Congress dude. Like, he used to be a Congress dude for one term, but then he retired. And, his Wikipedia article says, like, he retired, and he started a company, and he invested. And now is $1 million and is on a sailing trip. But, like, actually, he's still directly involved in, like, military politics. Like, shadow government, we're talking. And the brother, he's state police. But is he really state police? Because he is awfully highly ranked. Because he is captain of the force. And this kid is only 31 years old. So you see the age gap is 10 years. And that's enough of an age gap that, like, you're a 5-year-old girl. He's a 15-year-old boy. Like, you're a 15-year-old girl. Like, he's a 25-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's like a 30-something-year-old man, and you're a 20-something-year-old, whatever. Like, there's a 10-year age gap between these two. And that's important because it represents power, and it represents authority, but it also represents, like, the king and his son don't really give a fuck about the daughter. Does that make sense? And the mother is basically absent because the father has basically pushed her out of the family. That's just how it is. Like, he basically just ate her like a wolf. The wolf was not really trying to, like, groom and, like, lick the other wolf, and so he just ate her. So she's not even in the picture. So this girl's going to college, and she's expected to, do well. And when I say expected to, I mean she has been groomed for this. And she knows where she's going. The audience doesn't necessarily know where she's going, but we're shown that she knows kind of where she's going in this scene where she's in college, and she gets up and she walks to the front of the class and she turns in her paper. And she, like, scans it and, like, holds her fingerprint down. And the professor's just fucking glaring at her. Just glaring daggers with his arms crossed, just like, and he's wearing a suit and tie. Like a professional outfit. Like, he's not a schlub. And he's like this Indian man. And he's, like, staring and staring and staring at her. And we'll be right back after this. So Taylor sits in class. And it's a amphitheater style college class. And the opening ceremony is actually the opening scene is the graduating force, and her brother is the one giving the medals. And he is older now than the rest of the recruits. He's holding some authority, and he's putting medals on them. There's like bagpipes going, and then, like, he directly talks to her, and he's just like, "Father wants to tell you that he's, like, very proud of you. And he appreciates you showing up here today. It meant a lot to him, that you sat next to him." Because he leaves immediately after. Like, he did not have time to say goodbye. He's like, there was a threat, and, he had to, obviously, and she just walks away. She doesn't even want to hear it. And he's just like, "Taylor, the family loves you." She just, like, turns and walks away. Then it's, like, cut to, she's on the plane home, and there's, like, an infant crying behind her, and she just, like, puts headphones in and ignores it. Then cut to she's in college. She puts the thing in, and she puts her fingerprint, and it prints out this like weird QR code sticker, and she puts it on the paper and hands it to the guy. He looks at her for 3 full seconds, unfolds his arm, and then like he doesn't quite snatch it, but like he takes it with some force. And then like he like doesn't really breathe out, and then she like leaves the room. So we don't really know what that's all about. Then she walks next door, and there's like a couple of kids in there. And this guy, he's like, also blonde, tall, blue eyes, nods at her and just kind of walks out. She ignores him. She goes to the front. It's got her, her information's already like brought up, and it's got a different QR code. It's like her Scantron sheet's been giving back, but it doesn't even list her name. It just is a QR code, and she holds her phone up and like authenticates it, and it just says B-. It's just like 82% or something like that. And so she goes to, how long we've been recording? 20 fucking minutes probably we're gonna go till for part 1. So so we go with this lady to, I don't know, let me organize my thoughts. I'm gonna switch off a visual. Now I'm gonna take a single step. Right back there where that hole is where I started applying brakes, and here is where I stopped. Because I have no brakes on this bike, unironically. Like, I have brakes a little bit, obviously, but it took that long. So I gotta get new brakes. I selected to do the test there as opposed to like anywhere else is because it was at the very bottom of a downhill, so maximum speed, and then it was a straightaway. Does that make sense? So it was like a scientific test, because you wouldn't want to brake test. You wouldn't want to test your brakes on an incline. You wouldn't want to test your brakes on a hill or a slope. So yeah.